You know what? Hugo is a new Martin Scorsese movie, so regardless of what I say in this review, go see it. Go. It's a new Martin Scorsese movie. Come on.
If there was something wrong, would you be all so strong? Would you do what if this movie's all life long? I like to think I would, you know I like to think I would. But I can guarantee that what you see is not reality. Never time she makes a point, I make it get a point. She said it's easy, but in the end you have no choice. And you know, so just the way that...
Hi, my name is Mike Smith, and today we're going to be talking about Martin Scorsese's latest film, Hugo. Now, obviously, Martin Scorsese is a very acclaimed filmmaker, one of the best directors, basically, of all time. Goodfellas, Taxi Driver, Raging Bull. The guy's done a ton of stuff. And then it was announced that he was doing this movie called Hugo. Originally, it was called The Invention of Hugo Cabret, and then it became Hugo Cabret, and now it's just Hugo, because I guess Americans don't know how to pronounce Cabret, which is fine, you know, whatever. I kind of like... I didn't much care for the title at first when they first announced that it was just going to be Hugo, but you get used to it. You get used to a title after you hear it a million times. Anyway, Hugo is a very different film from Martin Scorsese to be making. It's a kid's film, which is different from Martin Scorsese, generally speaking. Much more serious gangster-type movies or just psychological thrillers, intense dramas. You don't get kid films from this guy. So this is really a different step. Another big thing about this movie is that it is in 3D. This is Martin Scorsese's first 3D feature. And, he's becoming one of many well-known directors to kind of embrace the technology. And, 3D has gotten a lot of flack. I've criticized 3D myself. And, I think 3D is fantastic when it's implemented well. And I can think of no better film that has implemented 3D as good as Hugo. The 3D in Hugo is absolutely spectacular. Out of this world. It's great. Like, if you go to see it, which you should, go see it in 3D. It's better. Avatar was obviously the first 3D, the big 3D experience for most people, and that was great 3D. That was really great 3D. I really like Avatar. I think it's a really good movie. I know a lot of people disagree with that, but I really like Avatar. And the 3D in that movie is great. And then How to Train Your Dragon had great 3D as well. And then afterwards, I just could not find a good movie in 3D. Like a good 3D in a movie, until now. So from March 2010. So by a year and a half, we've gone just bad 3D all around. And now Hugo comes out and it's just, it's great. Martin Scorsese really knew what he was doing with this technology. It's right on the money. Every shot is just beautifully done, especially the opening sequence. The opening sequence of this movie is just visually astounding. It's great. I really dug it. Anyway, so that's enough about the 3D, enough about how different it is that Martin Scorsese is doing a kid's movie. I guess you want to know if I liked it. I really liked it. I liked it a lot. If you couldn't tell from my sort of gushing about it a few minutes ago, I really enjoyed the movie. I had a couple complaints, but I feel like those complaints will go away on a second viewing. And I'll get to them in a minute, but basically the first half of the movie feels a little long. I know it's over 2 hours. I'm not sure the exact runtime, but I know it's over 2 hours. And to me, there didn't really seem to be that much of a conflict, so to speak. There is conflict. There's a story, but it's not. It's not like it's. I'm trying to figure out how to put this. It's much. Okay, it's a much more personal tale than maybe I was expecting. Which is cool, that's great. I'm down for that. It's just that with this style of movie, you generally see things that are much bigger in scale. And Hugo isn't all that big in scale. It's very small and personal. And towards the movie's end, I like that aspect of it a lot, especially, once you get to the second half of the movie. But when it starts off, it's a little slow, I felt. But again, I feel like if I saw the movie a second time, that problem would go away because now that I know where it ends, I feel like the whole beginning would kind of just click into place, so to speak. But basically, Hugo is about this kid, Hugo Cabret, played by Asa Butterfield, who is an orphan who lives in a train station in Paris in the 1930s. He runs the clocks there, and he comes across this old toy maker played by Ben Kingsley, and the toy maker has like a secret, and he doesn't want the secret to be like revealed. And so Hugo and the toy maker's daughter, played by the toy maker's goddaughter, played by Chloe Moretz, who is also playing an orphan, because it's a kids movie, so it has to be an orphan, right? I'm just being facetious. Never mind me. Yeah. So Hugo and Chloe Moretz, they like to do some research, and I'm not really sure if I want to reveal this plot point, but no, I'm not going to reveal it. If you haven't seen it, basically they discover a secret about Ben Kingsley's character, which is really fascinating, and that's where the movie really takes off. Is when they start researching into. Well, I'll tell you kind of what it involves. His secret involves silent movies, so like the movies that started, basically the beginnings of film and film like as an industry and how it evolved over time. And once it gets to that aspect of the movie, that's when it really starts to click. At least on this first viewing, just everything falls into place. I felt like, and you get a really cool, history lesson to go along with it. And it's just really, it's really enchanting. It's just a really great, entertaining ride. I mean, I actually like I knew a lot of the stuff going. I knew. I didn't really know all that much about the movie going in. I knew it was a new Martin Scorsese movie, and that's why I wanted to go see it. But I didn't really research too much into the plot, just because I kind of like to be surprised as possible when I go into a movie. And so, it's playing, and these classic movies start coming up, and there's such reverence for these classic movies. You can tell Martin Scorsese has such a dedication to his craft, and it really shows. And I mean, obviously, Martin Scorsese's very famous for being like cinema's biggest lover, sort of. He loves movies. He breathes movies, and that's, I respect that immensely. He's an incredibly talented man who really has a passion for what he does, and I think that's awesome. And Hugo, I think, is basically his love letter to movies. It's not really something I can put into words, because it's more something you feel it when you watch it, but it's just powerful, especially for someone who loves movies like I do, or like people who may be watching this do. It's great. It's perfect for, film lovers and cinema buffs, that kind of thing. It's perfect for them. And I think that's who this movie's going to cater most to. Kid movie-wise, I'm not sure if there's enough to entertain kids. It's not really for the younger audience. I mean, like this weekend, I think I brought this up before, but this weekend was a great weekend for kids' movies, because it was The Muppets, Hugo, and Arthur Christmas. And again, I didn't see Arthur Christmas because I don't know, I didn't. I mean, I don't really plan to see it, even though I do hear it's pretty decent, but regardless. But Hugo is more for, I would say, at least 12 and up. Maybe 10 and up. But just the younger kids just would not really, I don't think they would latch onto it as well as they would with something like The Muppets or Arthur Christmas. But 10 and up, 12 and up, I think that they would be a better audience for this. And I mean, it could inspire generations of cinema geeks, and that's always good. So yeah. See, I mean, I haven't really even talked about the movie this whole time. I've just been talking about how it made me feel, and I think that's good. That's a good sign for the movie, honestly. But I'll try to briefly run down some of the other points. I thought the script was pretty decent. It was pretty well written. Performances wise, solid all across the board. I thought Chloe Moretz and Asa Butterfield were both pretty decent as child performances go. Sacha Baron Cohen was he was probably one of the highlights of the movie. Actually, he was very good. Ben Kingsley was good. Michael Stuhlbarg showed up, so that was cool. Yeah. Direction-wise, it's Martin Scorsese. You already know what you're getting into. Direction is impeccable, as always. I mean, he's fantastic. Especially, again, that opening sequence is just great. I loved it. I just loved it. It's like this point of view shot, and you're going just through the Paris train station. And it's kind of awesome. It's really great, and the 3D just brings it out in such a way. It's really just fantastic. Yeah, I'm gushing about this movie. Like, I didn't really do that when I saw it. Like, after the movie ended, I was like, yeah, that was pretty good. That was very good. And now I'm just like gushing about it. I don't know. I guess I liked it more than I thought I did. I really do want to see it again. Like, a second viewing, I think, would really help it out. Not that it needs any help, apparently, because I'm only saying positive things. I'll try to poke a little criticism in. Again, that first half of the movie is a little slow for the first time viewing, basically. I mean, my theory is that it feels a lot better when you're in the second half, like when you're on your second viewing of the movie or third viewing. But that first viewing, just you don't really see how it all kind of adds up. And then a lot of the secondary subplots, like there's one with Sacha Baron Cohen and Emily Mortimer, and there's one with like two other people in the train station with their dogs. They seem kind of superfluous until you get to like the very end of the movie, and then you kind of see like the whole theme surrounding it. But like up until that point, it seems kind of unnecessary. But it does kind of come back towards the end, and it kind of makes more sense as the movie goes on. So yeah. I mean, I just really enjoyed this movie. I can't believe I'm gushing about it as much as I have been, but I really am. Like, it's great. I loved this movie. I really did. It's a really entertaining, great movie, and I think you should all go see it. Go see it. It's Hugo. It's Martin Scorsese. Come on. All right. I guess that brings me to the end of my review. So, there you have it. That's my review for Hugo. I should be doing my What I've Been Watching tomorrow, so you can look forward to that. And I will be doing Community Recap for the latest episode of Community pretty soon. Well, I mean, the episode will air tomorrow, and then probably a couple days after that, that'll come up. And then next week... this week didn't really work out. There's a lot of difficulties with scheduling and stuff, but next week I'm probably doing a double feature of My Week with Marilyn and Take Shelter. So you have those to look forward to. And then the weekend after that's Melancholia coming near me, and Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, which I'm very much looking forward to as well. So you got some reviews coming down the pipe. YouTube, this is the big awards month. This is the big month. It's the money month, as they say. Alright, so I guess that about wraps it up. My name is Mike Smith. You're YouTube, and you're watching Mike Smith's film vlog on YouTube, because that's how you do. And I'll see you next time, YouTube. Take care.